My name's Jeff. Welcome to Versus Live.
Why write poetry?
Poem is done. Like, what was the point here? I also don't know where this poem is going.
Poetry's very love-hate.
The worst possible thing is them just saying no.
Hello. Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is. You guys are watching this.
Yeah.
Jeff, joined by Matthias.
I'm Matthias.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's also the second time we're here for National Poetry Month.
Second Tuesday of the month.
Yeah. So happy Poetry Month. Let us know if you guys are doing a 30 for 30 or anything.
I don't know what a 30 for 30. So a 30 for 30 is when you write a poem a day for 30 straight days. And it just so happens that April has 30 straight days in a row. So if you're doing a 30 for 30, let us know.
Let us know what your thoughts are. Have you ever done a 30 for 30 before?
I have. I finished 2 30 for 30s.
That's pretty good.
I think I've attempted more times and then did not complete it the other times, but I've completed twice. What about you?
I may have done it once. I don't know if I would honestly recommend a 30 for 30. I don't know.
What do you have against it?
I mean, I think it's just, poems oftentimes take time to kind of evolve into what they are. I mean, I guess it's good from a sense of just having lots of drafts to go through, but I think it can it almost is more that you're just in there for the grind than for the actual product sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see that aspect of it. I think the thing that I take away from a 30 for 30 is kind of the rhythm of writing. And it also kind of helps you figure out the time and the space that you can really devote to writing, because I think a lot of times your schedules can get away from you, and just that everything that's happening in your daily life. And so one of the things when I did my 30 for 30, and I think the year that I completed it, I think after that I was writing a lot more, but it was because I kind of found like a little groove. So I wasn't writing a poem a day for the rest of the year, but I found, there's this little time of the day that if I really just sat down and try to fixate on something for about 15-20 minutes, I can get something on paper, and I can type something out, and I think I can be more productive poetry wise. And I think that's maybe that's a lot of people's goals, and just what you said as far as having drafts out, because now you have work that you can reference back, like, I didn't even know I had that on my mind, but because I was trying to squeeze as much as I possibly could out of this this small window of time in the day, I got something that I wouldn't have expected, and I can actually turn that into something, a much larger concept and a much larger poem, or maybe just a different creative process or project. So yeah, I don't know. I think I don't think there's much drawback to it, only because it's if you spend 15 minutes writing a poem that you hate for the rest of your life, like, well, now that poem's out the way.
True. Especially if you're new to poetry, you want to write 100 bad poems to get them out of the way so you can write the good one.
Yeah.
Get your reps in.
I saw this thing. It's like the Kobe on one of the documentaries that's on Kobe. It wasn't. It was the Redeem team for the NBA, the Olympic team, and they were talking about how Kobe was like, he would go to the gym and he would be like the first person in the gym working out. Right. He would be the last person in the gym working out. And when you kind of got into a rhythm where guys, they were seeing him like, okay, this is like our elder statesman. You know what I mean? Like, this is the guy he's been in the league for a really long time already, and he's been on multiple of these teams, and we're over here thinking we got time to relax, and he's the one that's in the gym working out and pushing himself. And it's like, oh yeah, like, this is a person that if I want to be on that level, then you kind of start working into that rhythm, which is just say for yourself personally. I know for me, it was, I think the thought of, maybe I don't write poems every single day going afterwards, but man, like if I'm pushing myself, if I'm like, okay, like let me figure out, I have to figure out a way to write a poem right here, right now. Like, what am I going to do with that? Then yeah, I mean, really, when it comes to any kind of artistic discipline, I think that kind of process, especially in like short bursts, like in a month span, if you have 30 opportunities, like you have 30 opportunities to create something, like you're not going to get like gold every time, but you're going to get like 20, probably. I don't know what's your batting average for, like a poem attempts versus
Like
what you
successful
might
poems.
consider a successful poem created.
I think my average is actually pretty good, but that's also because my it takes me so long to write it. You know what I
So
mean?
you're like, okay, I'll score like 12 points a game, but I'm making every shot.
I'm going pretty much like
I'm
it's
making every shot.
you know I I feel fairly confident that when I finish a poem, it's if I wanted to get it published somewhere, I think I could find a home for it fairly easily. That's not saying it would necessarily get like the top tier journal every single time, but like it could go somewhere, you know.
Mm.
And that's not saying that every single poem I write is going to be like this is my new favorite poem. This is my new favorite poem. But um, in general, I mean, I was even like looking through just like old work, and one of the things I kind of noticed, I mean, just because I'm a horrible. I keep all my drafts of poems in like one document, so that document's now like 700, 800 pages long.
Because of course, why not? I
No.
mean, why make things easy on yourself?
But it is easy because it's all there, and it's like I
But
mean,
then you can have.
one of the things I've noticed, like looking at like from where it started to where it is now, is that even the poems that I don't like as much now, I can see so much more. Like I can like pick out solid sections from them, whereas like the early poems, it's like I'm not really seeing anything salvageable in this. Like in the even the poems that aren't working now, like okay, I can identify the stakes, I can identify the tone, I can identify like the turn, like I can identify things that I think are solid elements, even though I may not like the poem itself.
Yo, that's what we should do that for one of these National Poetry Month shows. We should like go to like the
Oh
earliest
god,
poems that
it's
we can
pretty
find.
bad.
Go to the earliest
It's
poems that we
pretty
can
bad.
find of each other. We should read each other's. Like we should find like the earliest poems that we could read from each other's.
Oh, my file just got deleted.
Oh
Oh
no!
no, 800
Oh no!
pages
All my poems
gone.
are
Oh
gone.
no.
But yeah, no, that's pretty cool. I mean, I like the concept. I like the idea. I think the thing that you just jokingly said, which is the thing that I would be thinking about all the time, nonstop,
Oh,
would
I
be
have
like,
backups. Like it's like,
well, yeah,
but um, also, I mean, just like when poems get published and things like that. So it's like if I had to, um, I could track the bigger
yeah,
pieces if I needed to. But yeah, I feel like I don't know if I would ever do just going back to like the 30 for 30. I don't know if I would ever do a 30 for 30 again, but I might do something that's like okay, um, every day for 30 days I'm gonna set aside a half hour or an hour just for writing, and that way it's not pressure to finish the poem, but just show up. Just show up consistently. Like it's for me right now. I think that would be the more valuable thing.
yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I think that's probably the same. Like maybe not even like poetry or like I think every day doing something that's creative is like a really good maybe directionality for me in my life too. Like you know what I mean? Like just being like, okay, like I might not have a poem in me right now, but I can shoot a short film, or I can do a shoot like a photo shoot or something like that. Just do something and try to switch it up throughout the month. You could do a 28 for 28 during February to take it easy on yourself.
Yeah. But that's again 30 for 30. So let us know what your guys' experiences are, how they have gone for you. Positive experiences. Have you written your best poem in a 30 for 30? Like for instance, for me, I don't know if any of the poems I've written have ever come from like the poems I like the most have ever come from a 30 for 30. I think that's another thing is like the times I've done it is it's rare that I've ended with like the month with even like 10, like 5 to 10 poems. I'm like, oh yeah, these are the ones. This is the direction I want to go. A lot of times they kind of just ended up for scrap. Maybe I'll take a line or something.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think the way that I think about poems and maybe I gotta adjust it. But I'm like the attempts that I'm going to try to get up. I'm like, these are attempts that are gonna happen regardless. I have this idea that is in my head that maybe I have to get out onto paper in order to know it's a bad idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I have to sort through it and it's
that
out
makes
there and
sense.
then I'm like, oh man, that's a terrible idea. But now it's out there and now I'm like, okay, I can
Yeah.
move on to the next thing. I don't have to wonder about the idea anymore. So even if I got out, I think the most I got from a 30 is maybe like two or three that I would really. I think I performed them all just because of the volume of shows that I went to. Like I performed them all, but ones that I actually liked and kept and still navigate, shows or anything like with is probably like two, maybe three. So
I think one thing that could work is if you approach it as like a project and like have like a consistent theme, like 30 poems on a specific topic or something like that. I think that
mm,
might work because then even if poems don't do what you need them to do, you can still kind of take parts from them and maybe apply them to something else that's a little bit more unified.
mm,
Whereas like having
yeah,
just like 30 poems on a bunch of random topics, like it's not. I think a lot of times too, if you talk to a lot of the like workshop facilitators and things like that, like just from talking to like Timba Jess and
yeah,
like 5e Francis and people, like when people are making like a lot of the bigger poets, they're not thinking poems, they're thinking books. They're thinking about how am I
mm,
gonna these poems I'm writing right now, how can I turn these into books? What's the project? What's the end goal with the poem? So it's not just the poem itself, it's like what's the big picture? And I think a lot of poets miss that.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's what
Sue Flat's
Voldemort
in the
was trying to
house.
figure out.
This
It was
one's
just like, how can I turn all these spells into
Sue Flat saying
curses?
that, putting some pressure just to make something in bulk. I get that. Quantity over quantity in a short time can effectively muzzle the internal editor. That is true. We're all trying to fight against that editor.
Ooh,
I mean, based on just the fellowship's experiences I've done, like for instance, when I was at Kalu, it's every day, 14 days you're writing a poem. When it's at Cave Canem, every day, 7, 10 days you're writing a poem. So I do think you see those things in spaces. 30 days is just such a long time.
yeah. But I like what Sue says here. Can effectively muzzle the internal editor.
Ooh.
The internal editor when it's being a bully. Like that's actually I think probably the maybe the best lasting effect. I think out of the 30 for 30 is that I think you think about time and you think about like being efficient with time a lot when you sit down to create. So you're thinking, hey, I could sit down and I can make this poem, but what is this poem going to do out in the world? Just like you said, like
Mm-hmm.
artists are thinking about books, and so they sit down and they maybe start thinking, okay, let me start creating. But if they start, let's say you get three lines in and you realize, well, this is not going to contribute to whatever project that I
Mm-hmm.
have in mind. Maybe you stop because you're just thinking, okay, well, this isn't going to really help.
Yeah.
And I don't know this if that's everybody. I know that has been a process for some people when they start thinking like, okay, this thing isn't taking the kind of shape that I would want it to, and they might stop that process. But a 30 for 30 kind of forces you to be like to take whatever's there when it's there. You know what I mean? Like if this thing is sitting there, like you have to, because you have 24 hours
Mm-hmm.
to try to figure this concept out, or at the very least figure out whatever the bones or
Mm-hmm.
whatever you would qualify
Mm-hmm.
as a completion for your day in 30 for 30. So yeah, I really like that. Shout out to Sue Flat, one of the poets in the city that I think uh not only has, I think, a creative mind that is it's really jaw dropping when you're sitting in the audience and you're thinking, this is how this poem probably is going to go. This is I can see what's going to happen here, and then there's a turn, or the function of the poem changes, or the medium of the poem changes, and you're thinking like, dang, like I really wish I would have thought of that. So shout out to Sue Flat for being a total rock star and
For sure.
inspiration.
Yeah. Sue also mentioned that theme is helpful. Yep, just for guidance. I mean, Sue also was. I don't know if Sue started. I believe she started like the 30 form challenge that I know she likes to do. Around forms that can be helpful too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Besides 30 for 30s, though, and things are happening right now, another thing that's happening right now, and we've actually talked about this before.
We have.
It's ChatGPT. ChatGPT, our computer overlords are slowly making themselves more and more available.
I know I'm ready to worship our computer automate AI and artificially intelligent or really intelligent.
We welcome them with open arms.
Organism. I already have my shrine built, so it's just like I'm just ready for you guys to take over.
So we have a challenge for today. Our goal for today is we are trying to help ChatGPT write the best poem, and we have to be honest. Okay, it's not Sue that started it. I see. Okay. I take that back.
Jimmy Neil Fishhawk and Johnny Rocket started that.
The Johnny Rocket.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Shout out to them.
But ChatGPT is not really good at writing poetry. We've seen this.
Well, hold on.
we have tried.
They're just inexperienced at writing poems.
Quite inexperienced. Just very much inexperienced. So we're going to be trying to work with ChatGPT to write something that can actually resemble a decent poem. That is our goal.
I believe in it.
So the first thing we need to decide is what do we want ChatGPT to actually write about.
Let's take a look here.
What is the topic that you would like to have ChatGPT?
So how do we kind of get the fire started here? Do you just enter in words or phrases or?
I mean, we just say, hey, write a poem. How long do you want the poem to be? Let's start with length. How long do you want the poem to be?
Is that a time thing? The amount of lines? Stanzas. Let's go 3 stanzas.
I was actually thinking 3 too. Something manageable. So we're gonna say write a 3 stanza poem. There's someone that you want to write in the style of?
Shakespearean.
You want to go Shakespeare?
Yeah.
Style of Shakespeare.
About falling in love in the darkest crater of the moon.
Let's go put it in the crater of the moon.
It has to be the darkest crater because it's like anybody can fall in love with one of the lighter craters. It's just like you can see each other.
The lightest crater, no, the darkest crater of the moon. Falling in love with a person or with an object or
let's let ChatGPT surprise us.
It's gonna be a person or AI.
It's gonna be ChatGPT. Okay. Falling in love with me.
All right.
How long does these things? It's just doing it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Welcome to the future.
To be clear, it's more than 3 stanzas.
ChatGPT not already going rogue. Not a good sign for our future.
To be clear, this poem would have taken Jeff 4 days. Now, granted, Jeff's would have been better, but for how long?
Okay, so this is our base poem.
Here we go.
I'll take a stab at reading this. In the darkest crater of the moon, amidst the shadows and the gloom, I fell in love with a maiden fair whose beauty shone beyond compare. Her eyes, like stars, did twinkle bright, her smile, a beacon in the night. Her voice, like music to my ears, did calm my heart and soothe my fears. Oh, how I longed to hold her close and keep her safe from all life's woes. But alas, we were so far apart, separated by the moon's gray heart. That's actually okay. Yet still I dream of her each night, and hope one day we'll reunite in the darkest crater of the moon, where our love will forever bloom.
That was not a horrible experience.
But I'm not going for not a horrible experience. We're trying to get ChatGPT to write the best
poem.
Possible ChatGPT poem ever.
Okay.
So, what are the first off strengths? Any sections that you particularly enjoyed? I was not expecting the Moon's Great Heart, so that kind of threw me,
Yeah,
like, which was that was fresh. I was like, okay, I can. All right, I'll play with that. Parts that you enjoyed, if any.
What I did enjoy was A Maiden Fair. I don't understand. Well, I guess the Shakespearean, I
Yes,
suppose.
you
That's that
literally asked for
influence.
this. This is you literally.
Oh.
You literally.
You literally said that to do that. That was what you said to do. Yeah, I kind of like some of the space references. Her eyes like stars did twinkle bright.
I wonder if we can add more. Let's add more space. So I'm going to say, take the poem above and adjust it to add more space imagery. Let's make it a little more thematic.
Jesus, nuts, man.
Is this the same exact poem? No. Oh, no. All right. Now but now it's going longer. No,
man.
no, too long.
I will give you more poem.
Okay. Make our bond shine ever bright. Okay. Let me say condense the poem above into 3 stanzas with lots of space imagery.
It's gonna be more than 3 stanzas. I can feel it.
Okay, just three. Okay, hey, we got 3. Okay, we're
Look at that.
Progress. We got 3. Okay. Love ignited, no regret.
You want me to read this one?
Yeah, go for it.
In the moon's dark crater we met, a love ignited, no regret. Beneath the stars that glimmered bright and shed a cosmic mystic light. Her eyes shone like a distant star, her voice a song that traveled far. Around us, space, both cold and vast, our love a warmth that seemed to last. We danced amidst the crater's rim, and felt the universe within. For in that moment, we were free, and in love and lost in infinity. In love and lost in infinity. Oh, well,
I'm liking this one more.
Not so bad at all.
I am definitely liking this one more.
All right.
I like that it's playing with lines and like kind of subverting them. So like cold versus warmth. The being free, but also the being lost.
Yeah, no, this
the universe within.
Yeah, that line actually is really crazy.
That's
like we danced amidst the crater's rim and felt the universe within.
Yeah.
Because like we're brought from this vastness, this like cold vastness, and then it's like, no, the universe that's important is here, which is like that's kind of beautiful. Artificial intelligence, wherever. What if it's just like a guy like somewhere that's just like they figured out he's like an incredibly fast typer, and now he's just powering the world's artificial intelligence.
They have like I remember we were in New Orleans, like they have people that just like sit on the street and you like literally with a typewriter and just walk up like, hey, give me a poem. Yeah, that's what we did. Yeah. Yeah, you paid them like $2 and they type you a poem in like a couple minutes. It's not like a great poem, but like, hey, let's appreciate the original arts. Support the arts. Support the arts.
Yeah, the original ChatGPT was just regular poet set with just
like the original Google Bard.
Our grandchildren are going to be like, yeah, like you guys used to write poems yourself. Oh yeah, dude. It used to be we would have to actually take a pen or a piece of paper and write it ourselves, and now the computers think for us. How beautiful this is. Yeah. Now do their bidding.
So how do we make this poem better? That second line is really not good. How can we change that second line?
ignited
Change
no
the
regret.
second line. You did not. Maybe you didn't hear
just
me
shorten
the
it to
first
one.
time. Oh, did it change? Did it change anything? A love ignited. It did not change anything, right?
No.
Changed literally nothing. Change the second line with better rhyme. We're learning how to operate the prompts. Rhyme. This is God.
This is the only rhyme.
This is tricky. This is not going to be as easy as I thought.
Try restructure first stanza with better rhyme scheme. Or maybe different should be.
A flower bloom within the moon. Okay, so.
But the second line is still.
Yeah. Better, but not immensely. Oh,
I was looking at this one. Let me scroll down. Oh, I guess it is different. Yeah, a love that we shall not forget.
Not great.
A love that we shall not forget. The meter got uneven. Sue Flat says the meter got uneven. It did.
What does Sue say?
The meter got uneven.
Yeah, it's struggling. We're having a hard time with this. Come on, ChatGPT, we can do this. In the moon start we met a love that we shall not forget. Mist shadows in the gloom. A flower bloomed within the moon. That first stanza is definitely the weakest out of all of them. You know, because I think there's things we could change for these as well, but I think if we can get this first stanza popping, I think we'll be in good shape.
Moonstar crater we met. A love ignited no regret beneath the stars that glimmered bright and shed a cosmic.
I'm gonna say,
but we also took away the line that I think really hit the most, which is like the universe within line.
Say with less cliche.
A love story to be etched.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's like the Elizabethan, but
not. It's not rhyming, right?
Yeah.
And then now we have other problems. That I love this sprout began the blue.
Yeah, no, that's.
Boo, ChatGPT. Blue. How can we?
They're gonna remember this, okay?
Well, not like heavy boo, but slight boo. We know we're encouraging you.
Chef, why would you push that button?
What did you?
That's all ChatGPT. I don't know why.
What can we say to help this get better? Sue Flat upset about the meter. We lost some feet.
Yeah.
That was not. What could we say? I want to arrive at something.
Like what do you have in your vision as far as what would?
I don't know. It's one of those things. If I saw it, I would know it.
Okay.
It's our crater.
Make the speaker in the poem a
maybe we need some more tension. What is the tension in the poem? So it seems like if I go back to the original one,
maybe write the above poem as if the speaker is being held hostage.
On the moon?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that what you want?
I don't know. Maybe. Who knows?
Because to me, like,
I'm talking to a robot. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know.
Is this the version that we like the most?
I think the strongest line that it had this entire thing had going for it was the universe within line, and and felt the universe within. There it is. Okay.
Yeah. So to me, it's like I'm okay relatively with this, except for that I don't like the first stanza. For in that moment we were free. Let's maybe. What if we start with this? Add a stanza after this. Add a stanza after this. Say strong turn. What we get.
This is nuts.
Oh, but it does not want the turn. It wants to go back to the positivity. ChatGPT is a romantic. We are trying to
struck our way. Our love
that was highly
could not withstand the fray. Our world turned dark. The stars grew dim. Our future now seems so grim. But in her eyes, I saw the light that sparked our love back into sight. Come on.
It's so corny.
It's like we're almost there. We're almost at planet, moon destroying.
That's corny.
Cosmic destruction. And then it's like, or I still love her.
Oh my god, it's so persistent. It just wants to end on a happy note so bad.
Write the above as if you're in a hostage situation. It'll add like 10. I don't know what a robot will do in that situation. But it'll add some tension.
Okay, well let's go back to the. Let me give it the whole poem again. Okay. Rewrite the poem above. Imagining speaker is in a hostage situation.
Yeah.
Behind bar. Obscured by toilet.
Okay. Hold on. So this is. Can you make this a little bit larger?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. Okay. So her eyes shone bright like distant stars as I held her tightly behind bars. Her voice, a song that carried far beneath a sky obscured by tar. Around us, space, both vast and cold, a story of love so often told. We danced amidst the captive's rim, and in all that moment, all was dim. Now, hopefully, it stays dim. Let's find out. Our love warmth amidst the pain, a flame that no one could restrain. For in that moment, we were free in love and lost in infinity. It's like it always circles back around. It's like you want to be in love. It's a ChatGPT's a lover, not a nihilist.
It's a hopeless romantic. It wants things to end so happy.
That's what it wants us to
be. I
want good things for humans.
It's this first stanza, man. I just want that first stanza to get better.
Can't you say like just make this a sad poem?
But again, to me, it's more about even just that first stanza, especially like that. That second line is really not good. The third line is not great. Mystic is an interesting word choice. So it's really that second line, that third line. Let's try that then. Let's try change second and third line of this.
Sufat says, make it a lament.
More lamenting. I love that we shall not forget. Mrs. Stars at Twinkle cleared her cosmic light, washed away all fear now. Make that stanza more of a lament.
Got a little darker.
It did.
Because I said first is we're washing away the fear. Now all that remains is fear. Finally.
Our love was all right. So I've asked it to make it darker. So this is what we have now. In the lunar crater's depths, we met. Lunar crater's depths. That's interesting. We met a love that we shall not forget. Amidst the stars that flicker dim, their light too weak to pierce the grim. Guess now we're getting a little bit of an edge.
Yeah.
Our love was born in the abyss, molded by it.
Our love was born in the abyss, a dark and dangerous precipice. For in that moment we did see our love was doomed and not to be.
The stars that shone now fade away, and we are left to rue the dead. Oh my gosh, that we had crossed the paths in that place. Love that left us in disgrace. This is
It got grimmer.
It did. I like the idea of the stars that flicker dim, their light too weak. I think that's more compelling than where we started.
I really love the idea that like Bane is like writing this poem. Our love was born in the abyss.
Right. The poem above in the voice of Bane from Batman.
Oh, this would be good. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Here, do you want to read it as Bane? Or do you want me to read it as Bane?
I'll let you go.
Let me go. Okay, good. Okay. Oh my, Bane is
Bane is verbose.
Can we make it a little bit longer?
Yes, I can scroll down as we go. Okay.
There we go. My name is Bane.
How do I make it Bane? I change crater to pit.
In the lunar pit we did meet. Our love and ember in defeat. Oh my God. Amidst the stars that flickered low, their feeble light, a pitiful show.
I could see him using pitiful. I could see that.
Our love was born in the shadows' reign. Jesus Christ. A dark and treacherous, hopeless chain. Hopeless chain. For in that moment I did see our love was nothing but vanity. Yeah, I could definitely see him using vanity.
Yeah, that line. Yeah, that's right.
The stars that shone now fade away as we are left to rue the day that we had crossed paths in that place. A love that left us in disgrace.
Oh, this closing stanza. Look at it, ready for this.
For in this darkness, I now know that love's a lie, a mere shadow. And as we part ways, I must say goodbye to love. And hello, decay. It got so dark. It's like it's not even like it's like as soon as it was about like Bane saying it, it was like, oh yeah, I know the
thing.
depth that Bane will go.
But like, they're actually like I could definitely see like the decay part, like the turning away of like turning away from love towards
control?
it. Love's a lie.
Love's a lie, Senator. The truth is now the League of Shadows.
Yeah, that the love's a lie, mere shadow. Goodbye, love. Hello, decay.
Oh man,
our love was nothing but vanity. These are. I feel like that's about as Bane as you're gonna get from the first. And the lunar pit. Oh my gosh,
jeez, that's good. Okay, wait. Can you write it as Morgan Freeman?
The poem above.
Yeah.
Write the poem above in the voice of Morgan.
Morgan Freeman's a little chatty. Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, well, that's actually a good line there. Lost in time, like stars at the end of day.
Yeah, that's a thinker.
I feel that. I'm not. I'll read this so people can hear it.
Yeah. Wait, can you make it a little bit larger?
Yes. In the crater of the moon, we met. Oh, did you want to read this? Like,
no, go ahead.
In the crater of the moon, we met a love that we shall not forget. Amidst the stars that shone so bright, their cosmic rays, a wondrous sight. Our love was born in shadows deep, a secret that we dared to keep. For in that moment, we did see our love was meant to be. The stars that twinkled up above, there's light a symbol of our love. And as we danced beneath their glow, our hearts did overflow. But now our love has faded away, lost in time like stars at the end of day. For though we once had love so pure, our paths must now diverge for sure. Yet I still look up to the sky and see the stars so bright up high, for in their light I still can see the love that once was you and me.
I can see it.
Yeah, I don't I like Bane's more.
Yeah, Bane's definitely outwriting.
Sue is complimenting us. She says, "This is fun. You all are hilarious and brilliant. It's all the work of ChatGPT." I take no credit.
The one show that ChatGPT is taking over, that's when we start getting compliments on our brilliance. That's when finally we're being recognized.
I want to take
a robot.
Some of the earlier lines. So in our crater's depths we met. A love that we shall not forget amidst the stars that flicker dim. Their light too weak to pierce the grim. I want to find the one I kind of liked the most, wherever that was. It was this one, I think. Let's see what this all looks like. Can this work? Can this be a poem? Hang on, I'm gonna put this in a document. Again, our question is, oh no, I lost it. Frick. Where'd it go?
Control Z it.
Huh?
Control Z.
Oh wow. Shortcuts for the win. All right. That's actually, I was not aware of Control Z. I'm gonna have to remember that.
You're unaware of Control Z.
My life has changed forever.
You're literally like driving an artificial intelligence, and you're like, yeah, but like
shortcuts.
Who knew?
All right. So this is the poem. I've taken the stanza from one of the poems and I've added it to the two stanzas I liked before. Let's see what we get. Close your eyes, Matthias. Don't even read it. Just listen. In the lunar crater's depths, we met. A love that we shall not forget. Amidst the stars that flickered dim, their light too weak to pierce the grim. Her eyes shone like a distant star. Her voice a song that traveled far. Around us, space both cold and vast. Our love, a warmth that seemed to last. We danced amidst the crater's rim and felt the universe within. For in that moment, we were free in love and lost in infinity. ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
I like this better.
You like it's? I don't. There's something about it being like a grim ending, or maybe not as hopeful.
You want it to be grim?
Well, because it kind
you
of
want an
starts
edge.
off like, it starts off already like, you're happy.
No, but I think this one. But I think with this adjustment, I think it starts not as happy.
I mean, not.
They're light
because
to work.
It's like you met a love that we shall not forget amidst the stars that flicker dim. Wait.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Lunar crater's depths. I mean, already that's
to pierce the grim, but it's like, it starts off like.
Oh, hang on. This is I'm not sharing the right thing. Hang on. Oh. Give me a second. Look at this. The prompts. See, that's the key thing with ChatGPT is it's the prompts. It's like Midger. You need the prompts. I appreciate that, Sue.
Yeah.
Hang on. Let's give me a moment. Share my screen. It's gonna be great. Sharing. Check this.
Okay.
Because I think it's starting off heavier. All right, so we're starting off in the depths.
But I mean, you could take that either way.
You see, you interpret this as like a happy kind of thing.
Lunar
crater.
I mean, if you're talking about meeting there, it's like you're already giving yourself into the fictional space of that you would be in a crater on the moon. So, what am I thinking that you are without oxygen or
it's
something?
Like literally like a cold hell, man. Like is that like a happy thing? It's like, oh, but we met in hell. It was really wonderful. It's like
we met in the lunar crater's depths. It's like that's not. It's like again. It's like to me.
So you want that to be heavier?
If you were to say like, oh, we met on Mars, it's like I'm already thinking, okay, this is if you're actually on Mars, like you're dead, or you know what I mean, or it's not a great time.
Maybe you were.
Speak for yourself. You already got robots.
Elon Musk is going to keep me alive. Okay.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I think that I immediately am. If I'm giving myself to the premise that it's possible for me to be in the lunar crater, inside of a lunar crater, then I'm not also providing that or insinuating that that is a particularly unpleasant situation to be in.
So you want this to be more unpleasant?
Yeah.
Everything okay? You and Ajane, you guys doing? All right? Okay, let's we can see what we can do. Hang on.
Shout out to Ajane. She's at home. What is she doing?
Shout out to Wives. Good. Go on.
Shout out to Wives.
Come on, Kathy. She's actually doing a stream right now. She's doing a chess stream. Okay. All right. So we're taking this. So Sue has an idea. She wants to add some urgency in terms of breath.
Ooh.
Rewrite the above in 3 stanzas as the speakers run out of breath.
What is breath? ChatGPT.
ChatGPT's thinking. And going back to what is ebbs in disarray. Mortal coil. Oh, there it is. We got the mortal coil. Hey, there it is.
Oh, brother. In the lunar crater's depth we met a love that we shall not forget. Amidst the stars that flicker dim, their light too weak to pierce the grim. My breath is short. My time is nigh. As I look up to this, but if you're in I guess it would be the sky of the moon, right?
Does the moon have a sky?
I don't think so.
Question. We have a question. Press the question.
Question.
Does the moon have a sky? Does anyone have the answer?
My breath is short, my time is nigh. As I look up to the sky, her eyes like stars now fade away as my life ebbs in disarray. Her voice a distant memory as I struggle to be. As I struggle to be free. Got a little,
Yeah, the rhythm's
just
a
a
little
little
disjointed.
rhythm.
Yeah.
All right, from the clutches of this mortal coil, and leave behind this earthly toil. Wait, can we scroll this up a little bit?
Honestly, no.
No.
I legit can't, but I can move the comment.
Yeah, okay. In that moment, we were free, but now I must depart you. But now, but now I must depart. You see, for though our love was bright and true, my time on earth is through.
Which
Wait,
I
what?
actually kind of so the rhythm gets disjointed, like no denying that. But I kind of like that, like with the you're running out of breath, so like you cut things short. Like I think structurally it kind of works.
But it's like you cut certain things short. But if you're running out of breath,
Yeah,
it's
for
like,
sure. I mean, it needs to be more consistent throughout the poem. But in terms of that line there,
like,
I mean, there's so many opportunities. I'm not feeling this.
I don't think ChatGPT knows what breath is.
Not feeling this. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna go back. Let me. I'm gonna reshare my screen. So the part. One sec. One moment. This part. Okay. All right. So here's our poem. Again, I think it's the intro. I think that I think if we can twist the second line and add some of that tension that you're looking for,
Love that we shall not.
I think we'll be in good shape. So currently, again, the first two lines: in the lunar crater's depths we met, a love that we shall not forget. That is kind of just a throwaway line. Let's in the lunar crater's depths we met. What if I ask it to so you're saying more proof that y'all's prompts are awesome. Appreciate that. So I want to ask Chat. Let's maybe just because that's the one line. I think if we can get a line that works there, I think we'll be in good shape, relatively. Okay. So let's maybe ask it to just write one line that ends with forget. I mean, that rhymes with the word met, and uses in the lunar crater's depths. In the lunar crater's depths we met. Love we shall not forget. Amidst the stars that flicker dim. So for the most part,
rewrite the second line as if the speaker was just injured, maybe.
You want the speaker to be hurt?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think, because I think if we just tell it to rewrite lines, I don't think it's not going to do a good job. So I think we kind of need to say, hey, write a line that rhymes with met that describes something, maybe. Maybe like describes the harsh conditions of the moon or something.
Okay. Or that describes the temperature of the moon.
Okay.
Specifically, yeah.
Yeah. One thing. What is this one? So when it's 4 stresses, it's not pentameter because that's 5. Tetrameter's 3, right? It's tetrameter 4. No, it's 4. Okay, tetrameter. Okay, so we need iambic. The trick. Write a line. Yeah, tetrameter. So we need iambic, tetrameter. Okay, write a line. Let me share my screen so you guys see the prompt. We're going to get this to work, people. So again, if you're just joining us, we are writing a poem with ChatGPT. We are slowly getting it to do what we want it to do, but it's mildly fighting back with us. Okay, so we're going to say, write a line.
All technology will eventually do.
That describes like the harsh, cold temperature of the moon that ends. I mean, that uses iambic tetrameter and rhymes with that. Yeah?
I
Does
think
that pronounce?
it might just try to use forget again. Why don't you say rhymes with forget?
Yeah, but this time it's going to mention harsh cold temperature.
That's
No?
fair. I mean, that's fair.
All right, let's see what we get. It's gonna be a million things. The moon's cold touch, a bitter threat. Hey, let's
A
try this
better
out.
threat.
A
Oh
bitter threat.
man.
Okay, get some attitude in there. Get some edge. I like it. Let's go back to our document. Let's see if this will fit in to our poem.
It is done. In the craters that we met, the moon's cold.
Yeah, did you want to read it? Or do you want me to read it?
Hey, no, you go ahead and read it. Go ahead.
Okay. So this is our poem. You guys let me know what we think. This is a ChatGPT collaboration.
ChatGPT.
In the lunar crater's depths we met, the moon's cold touch, a bitter threat, amidst the stars that flickered dim, their light too weak to pierce the grim. Her eyes shone like a distant star, her voice a song that traveled far. Around us, space, both cold and vast, our love, a warmth that seemed to last. We danced amidst the crater's rim and felt the universe within, for in that moment we were free, in love and lost in infinity.
Yeah, I like that progression
I
a
like
lot
this.
more.
This is
Like
better.
that progression, because I think it makes it very it takes the ambiguity out of whether or not we're talking about a negative, like this thing being negative, because the second line really makes you understand, like, no, these are harsh environments. And then we get the light in the second stanza, and then we get the love in the third stanza.
I like this better.
I do like it better.
I think some things are still a little bit too on the nose, like a bitter threat. I want a different word than threat. Like a noun there would have been nice. Like a noun that's like describing like the moon.
I can see it either way. I like threat.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't like threatening people or threats.
You like threats?
That's not. Just boom. The boo. There's a delay in the boo.
There is a boo.
We have to like cut out the delay, so it's just like
I like the delay because it's like that awkward pause where you're waiting for it, and then it happens.
Hey, I disagree with this guy. Do a little sad violin.
Yeah.
There's some piano in there too. Why don't they say piano, sad piano, violin, and piano?
All right. Well, you pick up your cello and you give me a sad cello, and then I'll rename it.
I got it.
All right. What are you so going through this whole process? Let's just kind of talk about that really quick before we land the plane and take things home. What are your thoughts on this process of trying to write a poem with ChatGPT?
Kind of scary.
Scary in what way?
I think there already is, but there's an ever expanding market for ChatGPT content and poems and drawings and paintings and things like that. And I think
Midjourney is wild.
Yeah, the creative fields are. There is. How would I say this? There are some people that have the platform and the incentive to use this service as opposed to like people in a lot of different ways. That's like there's some skill to that, but it's still not what it is to write a poem. Or the thing that is writing a poem. And so I think it's kind of like, oh yeah, and to be clear, there's a lot of things that this technology, once it really improves, because I mean, we're seeing like the infant stages of it now. Once it improves and you really kind of get this thing humming, what it's going to look like in its kind of finished product. And I think like that's the thing that's kind of going to be a little spooky.
Okay.
But I don't know. What do you think?
The poetry's not very good. Like it's serviceable. Like it's like
For now, yeah.
you could ask it to write, but it seems to be super obsessed with rhymes and not even necessarily great rhymes. It seems to struggle with off rhymes. It doesn't have any of the subtlety that I think poetry is really known for. So like I think it's still like if you're using it like academic reports, like if you're like CNET and using this like to write articles, like I think it can do that. But I think for now, it seems to have a hard time with just like the nuances of poetry. Whereas like just to look at something else, give me a second, let me share my screen.
Yeah.
So I just went to Bing's image generator and I told it to, hey, this is the poem that ChatGPT just wrote. Make a picture of it. And this is what it came up with.
That's kind of nuts.
Yeah. So like the image generation stuff is super advanced, but poetry, like, it seems to do better. AI seems to do better with like images and like reports and things than poems.
Yeah, I mean, I think
currently,
yeah, but it's also there's a slightly more subjective nature to how you perceive poems than maybe how like reports and things like that are perceived. So I think that even the thought that you're like, well, it doesn't do this well, I'm like by the standard of what you would consider maybe a good poem, maybe, but like by the standard of what the thing that a poem is, it's like no, it's like it's doing it. So like now it's like, okay, like does it create what everybody regards as a good poem? And I would say like, you know, I think you especially, if we're talking about out of between you and me, but I think your, how would I put this, taste level for what would be a good poem is much higher than I would think most of the general poetry consuming population is. You know what I mean? So like when you're like, man, this poem's not that good, it's like I think, yeah, if you are a person that has listened to, written, edited, taught, been taught as many poems as you have, been in community with poets and all that, like maybe for you, but for somebody who's just the kind of, if I saw this on my timeline, somebody said, oh, like this person wrote that, like I could I wouldn't even think like, oh, this feels like a robot wrote this. I might think maybe it's not even the worst poem that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, because it's not by any stretch that means like the worst poem that we might have been able to see generated. And maybe that's the beauty of, you know, human generated content, because you're like, oh, like you get all these spectrums, you get kind of all ends of the spectrum. Whereas I think and again, only for right now, ChatGPT can only kind of have this like kind of almost lukewarm metric, because it's meeting certain designs for it's like in order for it to be created. So yeah, I don't know. I think that you have a specific kind of taste in metric when it comes to poems that I think if you translate it to the average everyday person, they'd be like, no, that's like that shit.
Okay, so I'll rephrase the question. So AI generated art has already won art competitions. Could this win a poetry competition? Eileen, no.
It might depend.
It might depend. I mean, yeah, if you're an editor watching this and this would win your poetry, let us know.
I don't know if an editor is going to affect.
I might try to get this poem published just to kind of see what
what you can do,
and then like reject it, say sorry, no, I'm not actually. If they wanted to take it back, sorry, no, sorry.
Jeff just comes back in a Ferrari. Like, they gave me all the money for this poem.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's bad. I like the adjustment. I'm glad. I like the second line that we ended up with more.
Yeah, me too.
I think this is decent for what it is.
Yeah.
If you guys, by the way, if you can get ChatGPT to write a stronger poem, I would love to see
I
it.
would love to see
Please send us your ChatGPT generated poems.
How can they send it? They send it to his email?
Probably just message us on Facebook or
Or
comment
you
on
can,
comment
yeah,
on YouTube.
comment on comment.
Yeah.
Go
Or even
into
if
the
you just get
comment
a good
section.
stanza or a good line, send us your ChatGPT.
Ooh, how about this? How about we give it's 30 for 30. So how about write a poem as ChatGPT?
Write a poem as ChatGPT.
Yeah. Because it's like we're giving them a prompt to write a poem as something that we have to give prompts to write poems.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, write a poem as ChatGPT. I want to see it.
Sue's saying she's going to give the students some notes to revise the poem. Yeah, for sure.
Nice.
Do it. Yeah.
Can we put this poem in like the note or in the comments?
For
reference.
That
doesn't have to be.
Yeah, no, I can do that. I can do that. Hang on. That's it. One moment. It's
form there. All right.
I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, ChatGPT is very end stopped. So pretty much everywhere you're seeing a comma or a period, you can assume the line ends for the most part.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm gonna close this out here.
Yeah, that was good. Hey, okay. Well, before we close out, just don't forget Diverse is Poetry on YouTube. If you like this experience, you should share it on your own personal sharing things. Your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, that whole nine.
Tell people what we're doing.
Yeah, let them know.
Who enjoy poetry, because I'm not just doing typical poetry discussions.
Shout out to Third Way Cafe.
Yes, thank you to Tim and Third Way Cafe for having us. They're a great venue to the golf clap. Yeah, Third Way Cafe. Get some coffee on the west side. West side, strong side.
West side, the strong side.
Yeah, that's what we
is that a phrase?
It's not East Side Strong Side, I'll tell you that much.
And they know what they'll get if they ever say that again.
Guys, my name is Jeff.
My name is Matthias.
We will see you later. Thanks to Sue for joining us. You guys take care. Be safe. Bye.
See ya.